What's going on, guys? My name is Noah. Today I would like to make a video talking about my first experience driving for Uber, which was yesterday. I just decided to film this like 5 minutes ago. Most of my content is centered around mental health, TRT, fitness, personal life, stuff like that. So my core audience, this might seem out of left field, but maybe it reaches someone, which is the power of the internet. I got approved a few days ago, long story short. And once I did, I kind of felt like a rush of nerves come over me about actually doing it. And prior to that, I would have never considered any sort of anxiety surrounding something like that. I consider myself outgoing, smart enough, sociable, driving and picking people up, kicking it, taking them places. It should be no big deal. But I just sat on it for like 3 days. And finally yesterday, I was like, Noah, get the fuck in the car. Swap yourself online and just get this over with, because I was making it bigger than it needed to be. So I got my little phone stand right, and I'm in the parking lot of Best Buy because I just got it, and I swipe online. And I'm literally in my head, I'm like, hopefully I won't get anyone for like 20 or 30 minutes so I can just sit here and get more freaked out. But within like 2 minutes, boom, the little thing comes up, and there's like a timer. And you better hit yes, because they suggest you take these, you don't pass on it. The idea is that you just accept whatever comes your way. And I feel like I have to poop. I literally just got so nervous, like, I gotta take a shit. But I was like, don't do it! And I just hit the button. Boom, I got my destination, GPS started. I'm all paranoid looking at the buttons. I'm like, I don't know which one to press. I'm gonna mess this up. Calm down. A little voice in my head was like, you've done harder things than this in your life. So I drive out, I pick up this couple. Turns out it's a husband and wife from my dad's clinic, whom I've known for the last like 7 or 8 years. Not like closely, so to speak, but I know of them. I recognize them, they recognize me. Totally takes the edge off my first trip. We chum a little bit, we drive them downtown, and I drop them off. No hiccups, no problems. And so I felt this huge weight lifted off my shoulders, like that wasn't that bad. They didn't murder me. I didn't crash my car. I found them and got them to their destination. Everything's Gucci. By the way, if you're curious to know what I'm driving, here's a picture of it right now. This is my 2015 Hyundai Sonata Ultimate Package Sport. It's my boo, it's my baby. Someone actually told me like 6 months ago, this car would be a solid Ubering car because it's got a lot of space, all leather, very comfy, heat, butt warmers in the back seats in front, blah, blah, blah. So I'm out there with Bagheera, and I drop off my first fare. I think that's what you call it. And then instantly another one pops up. And so I go and pick someone up, but this time I'm like downtown Portland. It's a Friday night. And the person that needs me in a spot where there's nowhere to stop. So I put on my hazard lights, and I look around, someone gets to my car, I let them in. And one of my biggest insecurities before I did this was like, how do you know like when to talk to someone, when to leave them alone? How do I make this car ride smooth and not awkward? And it turns out basic social skills will solve that problem. If you ask someone a basic question, they have a quick answer, maybe leave them alone. And if they ask you a bunch of questions in response, then they want to talk. And I sort of stuck with that motto. The next like 4 or 5 fares were quick. I'm talking like I just bolted someone from like one part of Portland just to a different part of downtown, or picked someone up from just outside Portland to bring them in. Nothing more than like 5 to 10 minutes on the road. Very small. And that was the bulk of my whole experience that same night. Mostly couples, a couple ladies, one single guy, and it was kind of fun. I mean, it was a little intense. I found myself hyper-focusing on my GPS and just being so fearful that I wasn't going to find someone, or I was going to be late, or they were going to have a bad experience. But all in all, it went really easy. I forgot to log my miles. Oops. I was too freaked out. I'm not freaked out anymore, but I was super freaked out going into that first experience. And I think that's just something that's pretty natural. If you've never done something before and you're meeting strangers, you just, there's a little bit of angst that might come over. You're like, but now it's all good. I'm basically a professional. I'm like Jason Statham now. That's how confident I am in what I can do now on that road. You should see me. The king of Uber in no time. So I don't really know if I'm going to stick with Uber long term. I'm down to try it for a few weeks, maybe 10, 12 hours a week, see how it goes. I'm going to track my miles. I'm going to try to be efficient. I had a number of questions came up in my head about how to be a better Uber driver, how to make the most of your time out there. But all in all, it was a good use of my time, I think. I just felt like I got to meet new people. I got to get out. I made a little bit of money, and I did something different. I did something new. I had a new experience, so that was fun. And that is the extent of my first time with Uber. Most of those trips were very similar. And I got tipped once. I let the guy know he didn't have to tip me, but he gave me a couple bucks. I went to a strip club, dropped it on like an eighth of a lap dance, left, because I have limits and reason. I'm just kidding, honey. If my wife watches this, I'm just playing. I wouldn't go to a strip club without you. Oh, they had this one cool feature at the end where you can set your destination and go home. I called my wife as if I just won the lotto. I was like, baby, I did it. I picked up strangers in Uber like it was some big deal, but she just made me feel good about it. And then like you set your destination home, and like if someone happens to be going the same direction as you, then like you can grab them on the way. That didn't happen though. I'm curious to see if it's going to be financially viable or if it's going to make sense to add 10 to 12 hours to my week on top of my job and on top of YouTube. At the very least, it was a good new experience I could share with you. If you're a new Uber driver or if you're someone who wants to try Uber and you're scared, it's not that big a deal. You just have to get out there and try, and there's tons of resources online. Now, full disclosure, this isn't the whole reason I made this video, but it's something I wanted to mention. If you are on the brink of starting Uber and you think you might do it now, my referral code is in the description below and also on this screen. Full disclosure, I might make some money if you use it. I think that'd be sick if it actually worked out. So I didn't make the video to do that. I would have made it anyway, but I found this out like yesterday. I was like, that's tight. So I want to make money and you can make money from referring people. So I'm just gonna throw that out there shamelessly. All right, guys, I appreciate you. Leave your comments if you're new to Uber or you have some experiences, anything you want to share. I hope it wasn't too tacky plugging in my referral code. It just made sense to me. I was like, why wouldn't I do that? Maybe it could lead to some extra income, which would be cool. And I'll see you guys in the next video. We'll get back to normal content right away. Later, guys.